check out of the
Yeah.
head of the table.
Yes, you are the chairman of the board.
All right, let's start this meeting.
It's up to you. I mean, everybody.
Let's welcome in Kyle Kaiser.
Number 32, Racing Chevrolet.
And for those of you who may not have seen it, an announcement came out a little bit earlier. If you want to fill us in on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, so we just announced we're actually doing the Circuit of the Americas race on March 24th with NFP as our title sponsor. So very excited to have an official announcement in the books that we'll be doing an IndyCar race this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're really looking forward to the next couple of days of testing, right?
Very excited. It'll kind of be my first time actually doing a test day on a track we're going to race. So it's going to be really, really valuable for us.
So you had a limited schedule last season.
Mm-hmm.
Still putting together things for this season. So how can you build on what you as a driver and the team did last season and take it forward?
Yeah, I think it was great for the team. Obviously getting our footing last year, learning how to set up the car, what progress we could make, and I think by the end of the year last year, in the last race we did, made so much progress with the car. So coming back this year, obviously we hadn't been in the car in a while. I hadn't been in the car for a while, so we were at the Laguna test, really got a chance to kind of get our footing again, work through a few kinks that we had, but it went pretty smoothly overall. We got a lot of laps in, and I was feeling really comfortable in the race car, so I'm excited for these next couple of days to really get a chance to get some more laps under my belt and get ready for this race.
Questions? Go ahead, David.
You're confirmed for the Cadillac IMSA program for the whole season though, right?
No, we just did the Rolex 24.
Okay,
Yeah, Will Owen's the full-time driver for that. Renee Bender's doing all the endurance races, the longer races, and those are the only two confirmed for that seat, I believe, at this point.
okay, so do you know for sure that you're not going to be doing the Sebring 12 hours or?
Right now, there's nothing confirmed for that. Yeah, it's not lined up. I'm focused fully on getting IndyCar fully. I want to do every race this year in IndyCar. I mean, that goes. Yeah, obviously. But right now, just Coda confirmed, and we're working hard to get something together for the 500. Laguna, obviously, that's my home track, so I'm working hard for that one as well.
Have you noticed while you've been, out sponsor hunting, that it's become a little easier than it might have been 2 years ago to actually get your foot in the door because people are paying more attention to IndyCar now? That's what everyone's saying, but obviously you've got a slightly different story. Everyone's saying, oh yeah, there's great momentum behind IndyCar, but you're the poor bastard out there pounding the pavement, trying to actually get someone to pay attention to it, and American kid who's got great previous form. Is it tough? Is it getting easier?
I mean, this is really my first time having to go out there and pound the pavement, like you said, and look for these sponsors. So I couldn't really say what it was 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But I think that, or I know that IndyCar is trending upward. And I think a lot of the numbers that we're showing to the sponsors and the data that we have is very encouraging, and that definitely opens a lot more doors than I think it would 5-10 years ago. So I'm feeling good about what we have and the materials that we have to try and get sponsors on board.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there guys you can ask about that, talk to? I mean, there's plenty of drivers around here that have had to or that were in the position that you were, that ended up getting full season rides. Even somebody like Connor's got just the 500, but he's had to do that for the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
Have you talked to them and gotten any advice on how to accomplish this?
I mean, I have. I've talked to guys like James who, he'd been through that, and he was telling me just how, he felt like there was almost no opportunities, and then he had this huge breakthrough with like an old family friend that just came through at the last minute. And he said, just never give up, keep pounding away, and it'll come in the weirdest way. So I'm just keeping at it, keep trying. You never know where it's going to come. I'm always on my game, at any time. I'm on vacation, shaking hands, meeting people. You never know who you're going to meet. So I'm just never letting my guard down and just keep being myself, and hopefully the opportunity arises.
Okay. Go ahead.
You said you're trying to put a program together for Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, in your first year in the 500, what was the most important thing that you learned, either in or out of the car, last year that you'll carry forward this year to help you if you get that 500 program?
Yeah, don't sign up for every media event for the whole month of May. That's the one thing I learned. I was a rookie, and somebody's like, oh, you really want to soak it up as a rookie and do as much as you can. And I said, okay, sign me up for literally everything. And that was a little too much, I think. I was a little overwhelmed outside of the car. But in the car, it was a great experience to know how the flow of the month goes, because going into it, there's so much going on that you're not really thinking about what sessions you have, and what's the progression for setting up the car from qualifying and the race setup. So I think just knowing how the flow goes and what sessions are really meant for setting up the car for certain things, you're not going in questioning, wait, what are we doing again? You go out there, you know exactly what you're gonna do. You know you're gonna run in traffic this session, you know you're gonna set up for qualifying. You're not really thinking too much, you just go out and knowing how to execute.
How big a help was Elio last year?
It's a huge help, especially for my debut. Phoenix was really the only race where he worked hand in hand with me, and then we had him helping out at the Laguna test as well. And just his level of experience, really when it came to setting up the car, and almost like I said, knowing how the flow of the weekend goes. He has so many races under his belt, so many race weekends under his belt, obviously with one of the top teams in the paddock. So just his input with, okay, this is how you want to set the car up, this is what you're looking for, is invaluable.
And I mean, just to kind of have an Indy legend, an oval legend in many ways, like him working with you, I mean, did you kind of think, hey, this is pretty cool?
I was excited to hear like what he thought of my driving, like where can you improve? And when I showed him my in-car, he's like, I don't really have too much to tell you. I'm like, well, that's a huge compliment that Elio's telling me, he doesn't have too much to tell me. So it just shows that there's a lot that goes into the experience level and knowing how to set the car up. Even if, you know, you're driving a great line, there's so much more that goes into it, just years of driving. So I hope to have many years of driving so that I can get to that level or anywhere close to that.
You've been with Juncos now, you know, through Pro Mazda or IP 2000, whatever they're calling now, Indy Lights, IndyCar. How important is it to have teams like Juncos where you can move up the ladder and grow with a team?
Well, the big reason I'm staying with them is because they have so much passion, and this is their livelihood. This is all that they want to do, and they want to succeed. And they've taken care of me. They've given me great opportunities throughout the road to Indy to get to this level. And I want to be successful with Juncos, and I want to give them first win in IndyCar, Indy 500. I want to give them everything that I can, obviously, because it's mutually beneficial. But I think that they deserve all that success, and I want to be the one to bring that to them.
How close, I mean, how close are they getting to that? I mean, it's been a few years in IndyCar now. How far along have you seen them come in the last couple of years?
There's been huge progress. I mean, obviously, it's very challenging because you're going against the best and the best. And these guys aren't slouches. They got the best drivers. They got the top teams. You know, there's a lot of R&D goes into it, and that's kind of something that we found is difficult. We don't have all the resources to put into shock and damper development. I mean, there's a lot of time in that. So, not to throw excuses, but I mean, it just takes time to really understand the way the car works and find those last 2/10, 3. I mean, it just takes a lot of practice. And I'm obviously still learning. I'm not going to say it's all the team. I mean, it takes me to learn how to get the most out of the brake zones, most out of the car. It just takes a lot of time.
How much confidence did the qualifying efforts at Phoenix and then even Indy was, I mean, does that give you and the team moving forward?
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. I know what they're capable of. They've proven it in all the lower levels of racing that they're capable of being champions. So the effort is 100% there, and the work ethic is 100% there. Like I said, it's just a matter of you can't replace experience and seek time and just all the things that there's no shortcuts for that.
Yeah.
Can you explain, like, I'm not clear on how many races you're doing. I know you're doing COTA.
Right now, we're just announced for Circuit of the Americas.
Okay.
That's the only one that we're lined up for right now. We're hoping to get more on the schedule, obviously, with focus on the Indy 500 and Laguna, are kind of the two that we're really working hard towards.
What about, like, I know last season you did a limited schedule. Do you prefer the road courses to the ovals, or do you like both?
I like both. I've never been indifferent towards either. I mean, I grew up racing mostly road courses. I've had great success on ovals, so I enjoy racing the ovals. I like high-speed corners on the road courses, so to me an oval is just one big high-speed corner. So I don't really have a preference on either. If I get to race an IndyCar, I'm going to go race an IndyCar.
As far as like, you know, in the shop and things like that go, how different or how much improvement have you been able to see within the organization, within the program on the IndyCar side?
So they've upgraded to that shop on Speedway
Yeah.
in 2016. That is just a top-notch facility. Ricardo literally designed the whole thing himself. He put a lot of little touches in there that he knew he would want to do as much in-house as he could, because they really want to do everything themselves, because they put all the work and effort. They don't want any piece on the car that they didn't put together themselves, because they know how much they put into it. So I think, you know, since they moved there, it's been night and day. I mean, not that they weren't putting in the effort, they just didn't have the resources that they had before. So it's been really great. All good?
Mark's not here to say breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how close do you feel Juncos is from being able to be in a stable enough position to have a full season?
I think it all comes down to, finding the right partner to keep us on the racetrack. I think they have all the capability to run a full season program for sure. They have 2 cars that are fully ready to run at any moment. So I think it just comes down to, getting the right partners on board to allow us to reach our full potential.
Good.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.